it started with this idea that I kept thinking about the power of a name. A lot of my writing so far has been interested in the power of name.
One of the things that strikes me about this play is, the overt theatricalism. I mean, from the opening kind of coup de théâtre with the guys in the back to, you really are, to really the whole themes of everything being performative. And life being performative and politics being performative, and it seems so intrinsically theatrical. So, I guess is there a question here? The question is, how do you make that transition? And what do you do when you write prose? Because you seem so well suited to writing plays.
Well, thank you. Maybe I think the prose that I've written, as I said, the two novels that I've written, they are quite voice-driven, and I wonder sometimes if I am a prose writer. I'm not sure if that's the case. Maybe it's just something that I cling on to really make it possible for me to enjoy writing plays.
Erica, how did you become involved with this? At what point, obviously presumably after it was produced in Sweden, how did you first encounter the material?
Kate Lowell's from the play company gave it to me to read. And it was actually in a translation that was produced in London by a guy named Khemiri, which was very different than the translation that was eventually commissioned by the play company that we did tonight. There were complications with getting the rights to Frank's translation, and then Jonas said that Rachel had translated his book and that she was really great, and she did a translation of this, and reading it was like, it was so alive and wonderful. Frank's translation had a lot of things that were specific to London and to Britishisms. It was set in Sweden, but then it would refer to the tube or things like that. And Rachel's was also set in Sweden, but much more American in its vernacular and really accessible. Amazing.
And at what point did you decide to move the setting to New York?
That happened. We did a workshop with Rachel and Jonas last fall. And then after that, when we were doing a production last winter, we decided to set it here in Europe.
The only language where I feel like my level I could never translate myself, but I could actually be, but there were a lot of really fruitful discussions about what to do with certain references and how much we Americanize it. And early on I was trying to keep it in Sweden, but we realized we did a reading of it, and it was interesting to see that we got laughter, but it was when it was all set in Sweden with real Swedish court cases, refugee court cases. We got laughter that felt like people were laughing with the distance.
Well, it's like, for example, when the apple digger says, everything is fucking America's fault. When he says, everything is fucking Sweden's fault, it's kind of funny. It just doesn't equate.
Yeah.
And it felt to me like...
It's funny.
It felt to me like the play is, like, as you said, it's so important that the play is breathing the same air, that we're all, and it felt like it was kind of a lie to say, well, actually it's taking place in Sweden, or it was written in Sweden, or it feels like it has to be of the room.
But it also felt like people were, it became less immediate because people had an easier time to laugh it off, not realizing that this is actually a play. In my mind, it's a play that deals a lot with how groups are being formed, how identity are being formed, and that's something that we needed to move it a little bit closer to here, just to make that work. We have had a great cooperation, and you've asked me and been very kind to ask me about different adjustments of the text. But when I've seen German productions, that like I can enter the thing, and there's like, they change the sex of all the characters, like throwing fruit at each other. Like, in one production, they were like quoting long part excerpts of Schiller. I was sitting in the back like, I don't understand, but I like it.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jonas. Thank you, Erica.